You're up now, sir. Primary night election coverage.
I was going to say it's Madison County. We usually say Madison County Sports Night Live. We're going to Madison County Election Night Live. So welcome to the Richmond Register Studios and Randy Rosenbaum's palatial home over at Gibson Bay. And we're going to pop in here for a few minutes just to kind of tell you what's happening here on a primary election night in Madison County. Not exactly a big night. If you went over to the polls, if you're a Republican, you had to vote for 6 things. If you were a Democrat, you only had 3 things to vote for. So not really a jam-packed thing, but they're obviously primaries for governor, and of local interest, of course, is the alcohol vote here in Madison County. So you got your sticker, Randy? Where'd your sticker go?
Where the what now?
Sticker?
What happened?
Your sticker. You got your sticker?
My sticker? Man, I didn't get any sticker.
They didn't give you a sticker when you
I
voted?
was in and out quick. I voted last Friday too.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Well, a lot of people did vote, and so that's kind of what the only results we have so far. But they should come in pretty quick. They were expecting only really about a 10 to 12% turnout, and if we were just looking at some of the early results are coming in, and if you go to the Madison County Clerk's Facebook page, that's where we're getting these from, and we'll kind of give you these as we go along. But of course. Very interesting, I think, besides the alcohol vote here, will be statewide, will be the Republican gubernatorial race there for the Republicans with, I think, a lot of people. I think Daniel Cameron is the favorite there. I know lots of other candidates there. Mike Harmon, Alan Keck, Ryan Quarles as well. Lots of folks out there competing for a chance to take on Governor Beshear in November. And of course, Governor Beshear does actually have some competition as well in his primary bid as well. And like I said, we're going to roll through some of these results as they come in. The only thing up so far from Kenny Barger at the clerk's office was the early voting. And at least on the alcohol vote, it was pretty overwhelmingly in favor of the alcohol, but that was all of the early voting. And so we're going to kind of scroll through this and kind of tell you what's going on. And we're not going to be on here all night, folks. We're not going to spend 2-3 hours on here. We're only going to give you kind of a little update, but kind of tell you what's going on. And we may even have a special guest here in a little bit. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but still don't have any election day results in, don't have any absentee ballots in. All we have is the early no excuse and some of the early extended 3-day. But some of the early results show that here in Madison County, Daniel Cameron had a lead in the early no excuse voting. Michael Adams, Secretary of State, had the lead there on the Republican side. It looked like Allison Ball was leading on the auditor. State Treasurer, it looked like Mark Metcalf had the early lead with the early no excuse 3-day voting. And kind of scroll through this here. As, once these get rolling, they should come in pretty quickly. And we should know probably, I would think, by about 7 o'clock what exactly is going to happen here. Republican Commissioner of Agriculture, the early voting favored Jonathan Schell there, pretty overwhelmingly. Democrat governor, no surprise there. The early voting was overwhelmingly for Governor Beshear by a wide margin. Jeff Young with only 56 votes and Pepe Martin with only 31. Where Andy had over 1,300. And for the Democrat Commissioner of Agriculture in the early voting, slight edge to Sierra Enlow there. And the local option in the early voting, overwhelmingly for alcohol, 2,168 to 986 for the no's. So the early voting, a good sign for the folks who want to make Madison County wet. We could talk about that for a little bit if you want, because it's. I think our editor here at the Register summed it up pretty well the other day. Madison County right now is kind of a confusing accumulation of laws when it comes to alcohol.
True.
Of course, Richmond is wet. Berea is not, but you can have alcohol in certain historic buildings by the drink. Then the rest of the county, though, is not. I think there's an exception for up at the golf course, right up at Boone's Trace. They can sell alcohol up there. So there are some exceptions to the rule, but often a county like this is referred to as moist, even though that's kind of a loose term that's maybe not technically correct. But if this local measure gets passed, the entire county will be wet, which means there could be alcohol served anywhere in the county. I mean, anywhere. Play, out to Kingston, Waco, anywhere that wants to have anything
Kirksville,
to do with
Doyle'sville, Baldwin.
Yep. And I know a lot of folks in Berea are very pro this. I think that'll help really with some of the expansion down there and getting some maybe getting some Kroger or a Meijer or something along those lines. So, what do you hear? What are you hearing from folks? You're a lot more connected around the county. What are you hearing from folks about the alcohol?
I mean, I think the way they phrased the question was, "Are you in favor of alcohol sales in Madison County?" I think that was the phrasing. So it's pretty much yes or no. So it was very simple to understand, I think.
Yeah. There's certainly no ambiguity there. But it's kind of what are you hearing from people? What their thoughts on that though are?
A lot what you heard, like, well, you can already buy beer in Richmond. You can already buy beer in Berea, but at restaurants, not anywhere like grocery stores or anything.
Well, not only you can buy it by the drink in Berea, but only in historic buildings. So
exactly, it's historic buildings, right?
Yeah, so it's not just restaurants. You can't walk into the Dinner Bell and get a beer. You can't walk into wherever Cracker Barrel,
like you can in Richmond, right?
Cracker Barrel here in Richmond sells alcohol now. You obviously can't do that for the one down there. So big difference, but this obviously would open it up. And I know there's some folks in Berea who think that they could get some chain restaurants and some stuff down there, and there's a whole kind of all kinds of opportunities for breweries, distilleries, all kinds of good stuff like that.
Right.
But we want to make sure we're pretty even on this. There are folks who do not want the county to go wet, and a lot of folks have religious reasons for that or held belief about that as well. And we respect their opinion, obviously, and they can, obviously have their opinion and vote whichever way they want, which is the beauty that this thing was on the ballot. And it was really Wes Brown was the guy who kind of spearheaded this and got got everything going and kind of got it on the ballot because they had to get what was it, like 1,200 signatures is what they had to get,
I think, at least. Right.
Yep, and they got that, and so it's on the ballot, and here we go. So
if any indication by the absentee or by the early voting, 2168 is pretty overwhelming. So if that trend continues, shouldn't be a problem.
Hey, we're live. Give me a second here, Randy.
Oh, okay. Hey, folks, I'll give you some other stuff going on here. I'll mute Nathan's microphone. When he comes back on screen, we'll let him know. I'll close this mic for the time being. If you want to go, we are rolling. We have some results from the Madison County Clerk's Office. Of course, the big primary was the Republican primary election coverage as opposed to the Democratic primary. So we do have stuff coming in from Kenny Barger's office, the Madison County Clerk's Office. So the Republican Commissioner of Agriculture, it looks like Jonathan Shale, early voting, 1,154 votes, and Richard Heath, 377. And again, these are unofficial votes just for Madison County. Of course, Andy Bashir in the county, 1327. Pepe Martin only got 29, and Jeff Young got 56. Again, these are early voting day results. Democratic Commissioner of Agriculture, Malone, 535. Sierra Enlow, 689. And again, these are early voting results only right now. Is Nathan about ready to come back in? I'll cue his microphone. Welcome back, Nathan. How are you?
I got a phone call. I guess we got a phone call. We are live here, so that was.
We are live. That's true.
Our special, our might be special guest was just calling. So
good.
They're the folks who are hoping that the alcohol. I guess we call it petition. What do you call it? Measure passes. They're having a little party out at Boone's Trace tonight, and we're on the big screen out there at Boone's Trace right now. They're running our.
Hey, everybody!
Hello out there at Boone's Trace, and thanks for tuning in. We'll keep you updated, and They haven't heard anything more than we have at this point.
Okay.
So I'm actually a little bit surprised these numbers haven't come in a little bit quicker here. But
They will. When they come in, Kenny will do a good job. When they come in, they'll come in all at once.
Yep, that is true. Hey, we also, while we're at it, speaking of alcohol and all that good stuff, we do want to mention, and because we kind of, I know at least here at the Richmond Register we do, we kind of paint. I know Paint Lick is technically in Garrett County, but we kind of feel like it's
let's talk about that.
But there is also an alcohol vote out there as well. They actually have two measures on the ballot out there. One for alcohol by the drink sales in historic buildings, and then also one for the possibility of having a microbrewery out there. That really comes back to the guy that owns the Salvadogo restaurant, because they want to have alcohol at the Salvadogo restaurant, and that guy also he also wants to he actually brews his own beer out there, and I think he wants to have a microbrewery out there as well.
Cool.
And if I remember correctly, I do believe it's Mark Gumbert is his name, the guy that runs Copperhead Environmental, right? Is that that's
yes? I think so. I think you are correct.
Yep. So we're keeping an eye on that too. I've just looked at the Secretary of State's website, and there nothing from Garrett County has been posted yet. But that is on the ballot tonight as well for a little tiny Paint Lick over there. So and like I say, we kind of consider Paint Lick part of. I mean, I know it's just across the river, but it's kind of feels like it's like a little, I don't know.
Sure.
Like our little step brother out there or something, like something along those lines.
Well, I think Ryan Quarles come in second to Daniel Cameron as far as the early voting here in Madison County. I just saw those pop across.
Okay. All right. You want to go with? Let's look statewide at this point. We don't really have anything.
You got Michael Adams, Secretary of State in Madison County.
Yeah.
Representative, Republican State Treasurer Mark Metcalf here in Madison County, 837 in the early voting.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're just gonna kind of, maybe we came on a little too early here, Randy, but we're gonna hang out with you and tell you kind of what's going on a little bit. But we do have we're keeping an eye on, like I said, a lot of things. It's not a big election night. Like I said, if you were a Republican, you had to make only 6 choices today. If you were a Democrat, you only had to make 3 choices today. So it was an easy in and out. Whether you voted today, whether you voted today or whenever ago, they've made it. Pretty much since COVID, everybody has made it so easy to vote now. You got early voting and all kinds of stuff. So
I like the early voting. What do you think about the early voting? I like the early voting.
I mean, anything that makes it easier for people to vote is a good thing.
I like it.
That's for sure. But I've never really had to. I mean, I've been voting as long as I can remember when I was eligible, and
right.
I've been a few times in my life I ever feel like I had to wait any real amount of time to vote. So, but hey, like I said, anything we can do in America to make people, make it easier for people to vote. That's a great thing. So yeah. So still looking at some official results here, and so far it's just early voting. Nothing from there either. So I guess we'll just kind of keep.
Well, since we're talking, since we usually do Sportscast every night, so give us a sports update. Like for tonight, I know some games were canceled.
Yeah, I had district championship baseball and softball tonight. They were supposed to be 5:30 for baseball, 6 for softball. They both got pushed back to 8 because of the rain was coming in, and then softball is still on. Baseball has been moved back to 6. Which I actually think is great. I love the fact that they play them both at the same time, and I know a lot of folks would like to go to both. I mean, there are families that have children playing on both teams. I know, like the Metcalf twins are the starting shortstop for the Central baseball and softball team. So they were able to get the softball field in good enough shape tonight. They're going to play at 8 o'clock. So as soon as we're done with this, I'll go out there and do that, and then 6 o'clock tomorrow for the baseball. And also had quarterfinals in the 11th region tennis tournament are also going on up in Lexington right now, and we'll get you the results of those later because we'll probably be back later on doing Madison County Sports Night Live.
Probably will.
That's what we do, folks. Every night we do this, so we're on here quite a bit, and I think we're starting to get some numbers now. Just see some real numbers coming in there.
I think so. I think we do.
I caught the end of the scroll there, but it looked like there was
They'll
some
refresh that scroll.
numbers
Yeah.
on the left-hand side of the screen there. Let's see here. They're starting to come back through again. But yeah, there's some. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, like once again, Andy Bashir easily winning here in Madison County so far.
Yep.
The local option for alcohol. Ugh.
Well, it looks like the Kentucky Republican, the treasurer, 4% reporting. It looks like Mark Metcalf.
Yep, and let's see here. Yeah, it looks like right now the local option for alcohol is looks like about 2-1 in favor at this point right now, with some actual live results coming in. And can you actually put those up on the screen? Can we do that live?
I cannot find that on YouTube.
Okay.
So I'm reading what you're reading, and it's very small too. So you'd have to really blow it up before you could do anything. So
yeah, we can.
it looks like 5% of the precincts reporting Secretary of State. It looks like it's going to be Michael Adams on the Republican side. So
okay, is that just 5% in so far?
Yep, 5%. Now these are statewide, of course.
I
think the polls. What time is it? Well, the polls will close in Western Kentucky here in about 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
all right. Well, let's take a look at. We got the Secretary of State's website up here. Might as well poke around to Fayette County.
Sure.
So far up there, it looks like it's Ryan Quarles actually winning the in front in the Republican primary there, just ahead of Daniel Cameron, ahead of third place Kelly Craft, Alan Keck in fourth. And of course, no surprise. Let's look at these numbers from Fayette County on the Democrat side for governor. Andy Bashir getting 98% of the votes.
In Fayette County?
Yeah, Jeff Young with 37 votes and Pepe Martin with 31 votes. That's in Fayette County, but
his dad. That's where his dad lives.
Well, nobody expected Andy to get any kind of serious challenge from anybody, so that's no surprise right there at all. But it's just striking when anybody gets 98% of the votes in anything. It seems like, but not getting any results yet from Garrett County either. So let's see what the next.
Garrett County has traditionally been kind of slow for results for that. So
are they old school with paper ballots?
I think Garrett County is old school, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So 5% of precincts reporting. The ag commissioner on the Republican side, it looks like Jonathan Shell's leading Richard Heath by a little over 3,000 votes.
Statewide, right?
Yeah, this is statewide. What I'm giving is statewide, yeah.
Okay. Like I said,
still rolling the local option. They'll be updating the there they just uploaded some stuff, refreshed it a little bit.
Yep, here we go again.
There we go, yeah.
Yep. It's 31 people watching these election results on Facebook through the.
Cool. Nice. Thanks everybody for watching.
Well, that's through I think it's on their Facebook page and not ours, but the county clerk. But hey, that's a good thing. People are paying attention. That's
absolutely. Well, and that just shows primary elections have not traditionally been very well attended.
Yeah, of course not.
So,
of course not.
I hope it's better than 10%, but Secretary Adams was saying below 10%, which is
that
not
is
good.
True. All right, well, the latest numbers here in Madison County for the governor on the Republican side, and it looks like Daniel Cameron, 1,260 votes, about double what Ryan Quarles had, 732. Kelly Craft back in third at 513, and it really drops off to Mike Harmon at 135. Republican Secretary of State primary here in Madison County, Michael Adams easily winning that one with about 2,000 votes. Nobody else there has more than 431. Republican Auditor of Public Accounts, Allison Ball, the big lead there as well, about a 3-1 lead over Derek Petey's. Secretary, the State Treasurer, Mark Metcalf, with a pretty sizable lead over a pair of competitors there as well. And we are starting to get quite a few election day results in here. I'm not sure what the percentage here is, but we're looking in the thousands of votes, so this should be getting pretty far along. Republican Commissioner of Agriculture primary, looks like that's going to be Jonathan Schell, as you just said a minute ago. He's got about a 3-1 lead over Richard Heath. The Democrat governor here in Madison County, not quite as lopsided as Fayette County, but Andy Beshear, 1,900 votes. Jeff Young just 128. Pepe Martin with just 62. Democrat Commissioner of Agriculture, Michael Malone, and Sierra Enlow in a tight battle there, and Sierra Enlow has the lead. And the local option, 3,542 yes, no's are 1,664. So that's
Pretty good.
It's almost 2-1 so far in favor of alcohol, and looking pretty good for that for the pro-alcohol folks out there. So there you go. Well, let's see if we can get some Garrett County results here. No, nothing there.
Nothing from Garrett County yet.
Now the statewide there's nothing on the statewide sites on any of that stuff. So
no, statewide 7% reporting. Daniel Cameron is really outpacing everyone else in the race.
Quarles in second, is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Quarles and Kraft at third, 19%. Eric Deidre's 5%, and then it goes from 3, Keck and Harmon, all those other guys.
Yeah, we had quite a few of those folks here coming through Madison County. I know I was at a Quarles event. I know Ricky Pryor, our editor, was at a couple of other Kelly Craft events, and Daniel Cameron was here as well. So we got to know those people quite well. So,
sure.
But I mean, I got to sit and talk to Ryan Quarles for a few minutes, and he seemed like a nice guy. He seemed like a down to earth, normal guy. He told me, I'm just a guy from Scott County that grew up on a farm. He said, that type of thing. So
the big red truck tour, is that what he called it? I think.
Oh, he stopped by Linwood out there, so we sat and talked. And he's like a nice enough guy. But he's in a lot of ways not your typical Republican for medicinal marijuana and some other stuff, and so kind of a different animal. But you're right; it does look like the current. What is Cameron? Cameron's Attorney General. Yeah. Yep. Like the current Attorney General will take on Andy Beshear in the fall, and those two guys have battled it out in the courts, and now they're going to battle it out at the ballot box, I guess.
Yes, they will.
It
looks that way.
Back and forth with each other, so it'll be interesting to see. Doesn't it seem like that? I guess that's the Attorney General is the path to being the governor, right?
It has been in the past, yes.
Yeah, so it'll be very interesting there. So let's see if we can
get. With the exception being Matt Bevin.
Yep. Yep. Latest on the local option: 3,800 yes, 1,849 no. So that looks like that's once again going pretty good for them. And like I said, I did hear from some folks that they felt some of the pro-alcohol folks felt pretty good about the situation, and
good.
Sounds like they're have a reason to feel good about where they're at.
Yes, they're on that path.
Yep. All right. Here, let's all right, Randy. Check your Facebook Messenger there, Randy.
Okay, check my Facebook Messenger. I will
get some stuff,
sir.
Put up on the screen there, so people don't have to look at me and you the whole time.
I got you. Did you send me a nice pic here?
Yes.
Hold on here. I haven't got anything yet.
Visual representation of what's going on here. So.
Well, let's just see. Oh, well, I don't have anything from you, Nathan.
Just now?
No, I don't have anything. Hold on.
Oh, wait,
maybe
hold
it's
on.
through.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Now I've got something going on here. Yeah, I can do.
I'll try to do that. I'll try to do that here so we can.
That'll be cool.
We can have some stuff like that.
Yeah, actually. I'll just pop it in here.
Yep.
Well,
that'll give you a visual representation of what's going on there. But
hit the right button here.
Like I said, certainly the pro-alcohol folks here in town definitely made a big push and got that thing on the ballot, and then we're able to looks like successfully get the voters to agree that it was that would be a good thing to have countywide alcohol sales.
Yeah, I think that's gonna work in everybody's favor. So that's true right there.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That's the latest on the alcohol here in Madison County. And like I said, we are getting some pretty substantial numbers from Election Day. So I'm not sure what the percentage is yet, but it looks like a good deal of votes are already in. So that's pretty good. Looks like a pretty good.
Yeah, that's a pretty good representation right there. That's for sure.
Yep.
I think that's gonna happen.
Yep, it certainly does look like it. Let's see here. And those numbers haven't updated here, but let me see if I can get some other ones here while they come scrolling through.
Sure.
And there we'll go. And we'll, like I said, not the most exciting election night, folks. I know we did a full on one, last November, obviously,
Yes.
and had a lot of fun with that. We were on for 2.5, 3 hours. We had all kinds of
almost 4 hours.
The head of the Republican and Democratic parties both stopped by. They played foosball against each other.
They played foosball. Who else does that?
And we had a bunch of commissioners. Mindy Goebel stopped by. Who else?
Yeah, Mindy Goebel stopping by. Did Tammy stop by? I'm not sure.
Tammy Cole stopped by. Yeah, Tammy Cole stopped by.
Yeah.
We had the judge. We had Reagan Taylor came by.
That's right. Yeah.
Other folks too. We had lots of folks as well. So
we should have made them play foosball. I think it was too late for them.
Make everybody play foosball here. So, all right, we're going to let's see if we got a little bit of an update here. These results don't have the percentages, so we kind of have to
estimate.
Mm-hmm.
Guesstimate what they are.
All right, my computer makes that beautiful noise every time I screenshot something.
It does. Ching-ching. Ching-ching. Uh-oh, he sent me another message. I see that. Oh, yes, I do see
yes, I'm trying to give you stuff here, give you constant updates. So, but
constant updates.
Let's see there. That would be what I just sent you is for the governor, Republican governor, and here in Madison County.
There they are, right there. Yeah.
Obviously, like we saw, you see Daniel Cameron with not quite a 2-to-1 lead over Ryan Quarles, but it looks like Daniel Cameron is going to win Madison County pretty comfortably, and obviously Kelly Craft, and then it dumps off pretty remarkably after that. So.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think he's got Madison County, that's for sure. I thought they used to show the percentages, but maybe they went to another system or something. But I thought the percentages were in on that.
Yeah. So all right, let's see if they're getting anything. Still have nothing from Garrett County at all. So nothing to report there, and we're gonna flip this over again, but looks like voter turnout for Republican Party was 14% here in Madison County, 10.9% for Democrats, because of course the Democrats really had much less to vote for. We just the three things. There were really only two things on the ballot besides the alcohol for those folks. And
do you think the alcohol vote brought more people out during the primary?
It might have. I mean, like I said, the pro alcohol people really spent a lot of money and a lot of effort into this. They hired a firm. They hired an outside firm to come in and try to get people a lot of phone calls and stuff and all that and a lot of electronic media and stuff. And so they pushed it pretty good. And I had a feeling it was probably going to work out, but you never really know. And like I said, we have some folks who don't want alcohol. There's a lot of folks who are, we saw that with, especially in a place like Berea is a little bit more maybe conservative and that type of thing. So our special guest is ready if we want to call him now. Do we want to call him now? Or do we want to wait
call him up. Let's call him up. Let's see what happens.
Do you think we're all right? I think I'm not. Like I said, we don't know what the numbers are yet. But it certainly does.
I think we are. We can talk about. He can talk about how hard he's worked on this. There've been a lot of people work hard on this.
All right. Well, you got it ready there.
I do have his picture available.
The picture ready. I'll have to put him on speaker here. We're not that technologically advanced. I'm gonna put you on speaker. Is that okay? Hey, I'm gonna put you on speaker, and everybody can hear you. Okay. All right. All right. Can you hear us?
Oh, sure. I can hear you.
All right. Well, this is Wes Brown, the local attorney, obviously, and owner of Apollo's Pizza, and been one of the guys who's been kind of behind the alcohol vote. And you guys are having a little get together out at Boone's Trace, and looks like the alcohol vote is going to pass.
It looks very, very good. We were very excited to see your numbers on screen here just a few minutes ago.
Yeah. So, what were your feelings going into this? I know you guys you had to get it on the ballot. You got enough signatures to get it on the ballot, and I know there was a little bit of confusion with that about deadlines and stuff. But you did have some duplicates and stuff, but you got it on there. But once you got it on there, kind of what was the feeling, and how did you guys kind of approach this?
Yeah, getting it on the ballot was a scary part, especially when we had the deadline hit us a little quicker than we thought. That I had some hard palpitations. But once we got it on the ballot, we felt very confident, and our confidence, I think, is showing to be justified. In counties like Madison County, once you get it on the ballot, it passes. I think 19 of the last 21 wet, dry ballot initiatives have passed in Kentucky. The only places they don't pass anymore are very small rural places. It's past due. It's overtime that we do wet in Madison County. We came up to Boone's Trace sort of symbolically because it is the wet outpost in the dry northern part of the county, and the overwhelming sentiment in this area is that it's beyond time for the place to be wet. It's holding us back.
Yeah, I love that you guys even had some shirts that said "End Prohibition in Madison County."
Yeah, we did. In fact, I still owe you one. I need to catch up with you and get one, although I think they're a little out of date.
It's a collector's item now, I guess, though. Yes. So, but I mean, obviously, you being a business owner, you know, I mean, and we don't want to pretend like you don't have a personal stake, or a personal stake in this, because you obviously you have a location. Apollo's Pizza has a location at Little Sac and at Berea, and if this passes, you obviously can have alcohol there. But I mean, so obviously you have a personal stake in this, but I think it's much more. I think it means much more to you than just that.
It became more than that. Initially, we were just trying to take a county precinct wet, and I filed an intent to file a petition. And before we got all our signatures, we found out that the ABC read the law to say you couldn't take individual county precincts wet. And so we just stopped. And I spent about 3 days thinking about it, and I'm stubborn. And I just said, okay, forget it. Let's take the whole county wet. And I think it was about August 8th or 9th of last year, I went to the clerk's office with another petition for the whole county. And I'm not sure I really knew what all I was getting myself into. It was a lot more involved and, quite frankly, a lot more expensive than what I thought I signed up for, which is a shame, really. It shouldn't be this hard, but it is. And we did the work, and we had to spend the money to get it on the ballot. And the funny part about that is, look at the margin. Why should it be so hard to get something on the ballot? Why should you have to do what you did to put it on the ballot when the overwhelming sentiment in the county is that they want to be with the times they want to be wet? But we did what we had to do, and we got it on the ballot. And as you can see, once the people were allowed to decide, the people are saying, we want to be a wet county.
Yeah.
So here we are tonight.
Yeah, the latest. Randy was just texting me during that, and I guess the latest update has it even of the more significant lead. As we'll get those numbers here in just a second. But it's something that here at the Register, we wrote an editorial last week, and really we talked about it, and not just it's alcohol, and that's what obviously the the public option says, but it's much more than that, and especially I think to the people of Berea. So talk about what it could mean to Berea to be able to have more development down there.
Berea is a pretty amazing place and a really great tourist town. It's a jewel in Kentucky. But staying moist and being in the bourbon capital of the world and being moist and having these weird laws down there has really hurt Berea badly. And that's the thing, is it started out about getting one of the Apollo Pizza locations wet that was struggling because it wasn't. But the further I got into this, it was about Madison County as a whole. And that's sort of where my mind went. I love Madison County. I love living here. And we can be more than what we are. And it's time. It's time that we become more, and Berea can really grow, and northern Madison County can really grow, and this will allow our county to reach its full potential. And that's what we want.
Yeah. Looks like the latest numbers are 56-86 in favor, 27-96 against. So once again, about a little bit more than 2-1. So it looks like certainly this is Madison County is going to go wet tonight. And I guess when would you have any idea when that would actually go into effect?
Honestly, I've been celebrating a little bit where we're going. I think there's a 60-day waiting period, but I'd have to double check the statute.
Okay.
But I think there's a 60 or 90-day pause, but I feel like it's 60 before ABC will sort of certify and let people start applying for these new licenses.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it'll be full steam ahead. There's so many people who have high hopes for this. We want to build a beer garden at Apollo Pizza, Little Sac in northern Madison County, and bring in our barbecue place. Dreaming Creek wants to open a brewery down in Berea. Berea's families really want another grocery store. They've kind of focused on Kroger, and that makes a lot of sense because Kroger pulled out. Kroger was very intent on coming to Berea, Kentucky, and when they found out that they couldn't sell beer and wine, they said, never mind, we're not coming.
Yeah.
And this will open the door back up for Kroger. And a town like Berea, to be what it should be, should have more than Walmart and Save-A-Lot. It needs to be more than that. And so I'm really excited for Berea. Even though I've never lived in Berea, I love Berea. When I first came to Madison County back in 1999, I worked in Berea. That was my home base. And so I'm really excited for Berea. I'm really excited. I'm excited for Waco. Waco is a really cool place. And development is hit, but it's going to be able to be a lot more vibrant in places like Waco and other places in the county. And so, it's like anything. It's just really opened the door for big things all over. And I'm just so excited to help with this effort. And, it shows you that a lot of people worked on this, by the way. I was the idiot who said, I'm going to go file this thing. But a bunch of people jumped on board. I have a lot of folks who've been really helpful in Berea and northern Madison County, other places. It's been a team effort. If it was just me, this wouldn't be happening right now. So I appreciate everybody who helped. And it's only going to make Madison County better. I know that some people worry about this sort of thing, but the fact is history shows and statistics show being dry does not keep anything negative out. It actually creates greater problems. Being wet and letting adults be adults and exercise their full rights makes a better place to live, and that's what we're going to have in Madison County.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sure you guys are out there celebrating, so we'll let you get back to it. So, but unless
Wes, this is Randy. I'm chiming in. I heard from some guys out in Poozy. They're really excited about this.
Only two of you guys there.
Did you hear him, Randy?
What did he say?
He said you don't have to tell me who you are. There's only two of you there.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Well, never mind. Okay. Well, they're really excited in Poozy, Wes.
Oh yeah. It's amazing. You know what this county needs, and what I think we're going to see is more breweries, Because Madison County, before Prohibition, we had a distillery. Let's put Madison County back on the bourbon trail. Let's be a true Kentucky gem, and that's what we can be. And so let's grow things in Poozy. Let's do it the right way, but let's grow Poozy. Let's grow Big Hill. I went down to Big Hill as a part of this, and the folks in Big Hill are driving to driving to McKee. People in Berea are driving to Mount Vernon. Let's stop that. Let's not burn all that gas. Let's not drive around with beer in our vehicles. Let's stay home. Let's be responsible and stay close to home and be Kentuckians and drink our bourbon. Which way I got a nice rocks glass of bourbon in my hand right now.
Absolutely.
We're jealous of that, but we appreciate you taking some time. We'll let you go.
We're stopping you guys. Come on. Cheers.
Well, I got to go to a softball game here in an hour. So.
Oh, that softball's meant for bourbon.
Another night, man. I'll catch up with you another night.
All right, man. We'll toast this sometime down the road. To your T-shirt.
All right. Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
You guys.
See you.
Thank you, Wes.
You too. All right. Well, there you go. Certainly looks like, unless something miraculous happens, that Madison County is going to be wet for the first time, I guess, ever. Maybe maybe back in the day before these laws came into effect. Maybe back in the day you didn't have to be. He talked about distilleries, but my buddy Brian Tipton, who owns Linwood, you've been out there, right? Have you seen that whiskey barrel top that he has?
Oh, that's fantastic! Yeah, he showed me that. That is really, really nice. That's fantastic.
And that's one of the coolest things ever, because that was bourbon that was made there at Linwood,
right?
And for whatever reason, he told you the story, right? They found that out in the middle of the desert in Arizona.
Somebody, yes, he found it, or somebody contacted him or something.
Yeah, and they brought it back, but they find that in the middle of the desert out in Arizona.
And it was part of the Brutus Clay distillery.
Yeah. So a history of it here in Madison County.
That's right.
So
that's right.
See if we still got nothing statewide from Garrett County. We are starting to, at least on the statewide thing, we have. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the. Okay, I'm looking at the statewide. Yeah, and they're a little bit behind what Kenny Barger has up here, but we'll give you an update again. I don't think anything has really changed here. You got Mark Metcalf leading the treasurer, Commissioner of Agriculture. Of course, these are Madison County results. Not statewide results. Jonathan Shell won as easily ahead here in the Commissioner of Agriculture race. Obviously, Andy Bashir, a big lead there. And like I said, I don't really think. Are you watching the statewide
Yeah, I'm
numbers
watching
on those?
the statewide. 12% reporting now. It's Daniel Cameron, and 24% is Ryan Quarles, and Kelly Craft's coming in at 19. So that's only 12% reporting. Of course, Andy Bashir's 94%. Mike Adams pretty much leading at 12% reporting. Allison Ball on the Republican side. Mark Metcalf, 11% reporting. So he's pretty much leading 16,000. Jonathan Shell, 10% ag commissioner on the Republican side. And the Sierra Enlow and the Mike Malone, the Democratic ag commissioner, Sierra is leading that almost 15,000 votes to Malone's 8,600. So.
Yeah. Well, I just sent you the latest numbers, and you put them up on the screen if you get a chance. But the local option, it's more than 2-1 now. 67-51 yes, 31-69 no. Wow, so it certainly appears that Madison County will be wet. 60 days or so, whatever the thing is there. I like how Wes was like, I've had a few. I don't remember.
I don't recall, but that seems pretty much. Pretty much that's going to happen, right?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see. Like he made a good point about Waco and Big Hill and places like that, and there are little gas stations, restaurants, and stuff out the places like that, and Newbie Country Store, places like that can sell alcohol if they want. Of course, they don't have to. I don't know the folks at the Newbie Country Store. I don't know if they're they would be inclined to sell alcohol, but they can if they want to now, and so that would be obviously a benefit to all those. But
maybe some Newbie bourbon coming out maybe soon. Who knows?
So I mean, anything's possible now. It just opens up a lot of different options to folks. And I mean, hey, look, we're probably coming off as very pro alcohol here, and but there are people who were against it. We had a letter to the editor here just last week, from a man here in Madison County who said that, we didn't need it. It was just going to bring more, he called crappy chain restaurants here, and he didn't approve of it. And but that's the great thing about a democracy. We put it on the ballot and people vote. And
That's right.
and great thing about the newspaper, we have letters to the editor, and you can send a letter to the editor in and say whatever you want. And so he got his voice heard, but overwhelmingly, almost 10,000 votes here in Madison County, and 67-51 now for the local option. And I guess that's the big story of the night here in Madison County, folks. So, so there you go. So it looks like we can keep an eye on this.
Turnout total here is 17.66%. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, 21% for Republicans.
I don't know.
Yeah, so in Madison County, it was Republicans were 21%, Democrats 16.9%. So we're getting some good numbers there. So still wish we had something on Garrett County to tell you about, but I just don't have anything yet at all there. And
there's nothing else. Are you looking at the Secretary of State's site?
Yeah. I guess I could try to go to the Garrett County.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess you could check out the Garrett County County Clerk's office. I don't know how again, traditionally they've been kind of slow coming in, so I don't know exactly when those results will be in.
Let's see here. Verify. I have to verify I'm a human.
20% precincts reporting statewide. Daniel Cameron, 46%. Ryan Quarles, 22%. Kelly Craft, 18%.
All right. Well, let's see here. I'm on their elections page. Not seeing anything on here as far as. Yeah. Live election results. There we go. I got it.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Still nothing on here either. They just directed me to the state one. So
I'm gonna check out maybe Gary.
Check out Facebook.
On Facebook.
They have a Facebook. Yeah. All right. Once again, like we always say, folks, we say we're live. We're definitely live.
Yeah, so. We are live. We are live. We are live.
We definitely are. But you're right. Results starting to trickle in from all across the state, and it certainly doesn't seem like there's any huge surprises tonight. And it looks like it's going to be Andy Beshear versus Daniel Cameron in the fall. Two folks who have already had their fair share of battles the last 2 years.
True.
Lots of lawsuits, lots of animosity. So get ready for lots of television ads.
Should be a fun race, folks.
For the next 6 months. Everything you see on television is going to ad on television is going to be for one of those two gentlemen, I'm sure. So
be a lot.
Get ready for that.
A lot.
Yep, interesting to see who Daniel Cameron leans toward to be his lieutenant governor. So that'd be interesting to see too, as well.
Who do you think? Who would you think? Maybe. I mean, maybe a Ryan.
I don't. I mean, well, I was going to say have those races been so tough that he wouldn't want to bring on one of those folks?
I don't think.
I mean, I don't think it's gotten too nasty, has it?
No,
I mean, I know
Kelly. I don't think any of them has gotten real nasty. I don't think. I mean, it could well be Kelly Craft.
Well, she's had her ups and downs and a few public relations snafus, and she's been kind of a controversial figure. I mean, a little bit, not horribly controversial. So, I mean, Quarles, you'd have to think would be a good one. But I mean, Daniel, he may want to go with somebody he knows better and somebody to go along with.
Could be.
It's kind of hard to tell, but all right, let's get another update here just to kind of make sure. But here in Madison County, Republican Secretary of State Michael Adams easily the winner, and then the auditor Allison Ball easily takes that one as well. Once again, don't have numbers on these, but they've got to be getting close. We're up over 7,000 votes. State Treasurer, it looks like Mark Metcalf here in Madison County had the easy victory as well. Of course, these are just Madison County numbers, folks. We're statewide. These are statewide races. We're just giving you the local numbers on them. But Jonathan Schell, the Commissioner of Agriculture, he has a pretty comfortable lead over Richard Heath. And of course, no surprise, we've said it all night. Andy Beshear, out of the 4,800 votes that were cast, and so far in Madison County for the Democrat primary for governor, he got 4,402. So everybody else got a combined total about 500 votes. And the newest numbers on the local option that just gets wider and wider. Now it's 8,700 yes, 4,200 no. So once again, that's more than a 2-to-1 margin.
Wow, 13,000 people voted.
Yep, and you go back through and look at those numbers. The more people voted in that than voted in most of the other. That's because you're combining. You have to combine the numbers because obviously,
right, sure.
That's the only thing Democrats and Republicans both could vote on. So that was the only thing that if you were a Democrat or Republican, everybody got the chance to vote on that. But once again, turnout was 21% for Republicans, 16.9% for Democrats. Registered. Let's see, about 13,000 votes cast total so far, and these numbers starting to slow down a little bit. So it might be getting near the end of the line here. But
now I did like Richard Heath's Ag Commissioner commercial. I think I commented on Facebook about it. Did you see it?
I don't think so.
He did involve cow farts in his campaign commercial, which I thought was pretty funny. I mean, I don't know. It's just me, though.
All right. Well, latest numbers on the governor's race here in Madison County for in the Republican primary. Daniel Cameron, 3,363, easily over Ryan Quarles, 1,684. Kelly Craft, 1,406. Nobody else even within shouting distance. And then, like we said before, Republican Secretary of State Michael Adams with a big lead there as well. And nothing much really has moved in these other races as well. Allison Ball in the auditor's race, state treasurer as well with Mark Metcalf with a pretty easy lead. So obviously looking like the big story here in Madison County is overwhelmingly Madison County will be wet. It looked like by about a 2-to-1 margin, it looks like. So that'll be interesting to see what happens. Like I said, the prohibition is over in Madison County, as Wes Brown would say.
Pretty much.
There's a lot of other folks too, and Wes. Wes was obviously he's right. A lot of people were involved in that. I know. We know Charlie Hamilton from Dreaming Creek pretty well, and they want to open a location down in Berea. I know there's talk about maybe having some kind of like a little location up at Boonesboro as well, maybe along with that. There's been talk of bringing a brewery here. I know that. I can't name names, but a former city commissioner told me that there was the possibility of maybe having a brewery up near where Buc-ee's is, which is still in the county limits, in the city limits. So,
city limits, right?
But that was a while back. But that's obviously something that is a possibility as well. Like I said, the fine folks in Berea, you may get your Kroger finally. You may. Sure. Or a Publix. Publix is coming into this area, so Publix might want to come there. Sure. Meijer, all kinds of stuff. So I think, and we talked about it in the editorial we wrote the other day for the paper, it just gives you more options. And this is not just about alcohol. It's just more options. And I know the gentleman who wrote the letter to the editor of the day would complain that we don't want a bunch of chain store restaurants coming here. But hey, you know what? Kind of like chain store restaurant. I mean, we went out to Olive Garden the other night, me and my family, and then we went to B-Dubs the night before that. So I mean,
there's a consistency.
And there's nothing wrong with having small. Obviously down in Berea you have Dinner Bell, and here in Richmond you have Winks and Madison Garden. There's plenty of room for all those type of things. So it's not.
But there's many, but many people, local people, also work in those chains.
Yep. Well, they're chains, but they're usually locally owned. So there's somebody locally owned and run. The people, the managers and the general managers and people are people that work here locally. My daughter works at the Olive Garden here in Richmond, so I understand. She's 17 years old, works at the Olive Garden. So it's all part of it. So, but the big news here, we don't have all of the final vote count in yet, but as you can see on your screen, unless there's some sort of miraculous turnaround here at the end, the alcohol vote is going to pass. Wish we had something to tell you about with Garrett County, but I just don't have anything from them? Did you find their website or their Facebook
Yeah,
page?
nothing was on there.
Nothing was on
No,
there.
nothing was on there.
We'll get that to you in a minute. I mean, it's interesting because it's just for people that live in Paint Licks, so I can't imagine that's too many votes over there. Maybe just a few hundred votes
Right.
Out of all the people that
Yeah, I
live
would
right
think.
there in
Right.
Paint Licks. So just that one little district over there. So interesting to see if they go out and they have alcohol too. And like I said, we did this we had a while back. We had a Madison Magazine feature on the restaurant over there in Paint Lake, Solidago. So nice place, great place, great food.
Is.
My goodness,
it's a nice place.
The guy on the left here is the chef. This guy, and man, they have a gnocchi that they make with these cherry tomatoes that they grow out there in Garrett County. Oh, it's to die for. So I'll be looking for that when they come back out. Hopefully, maybe they're already back. I'd like to go over there and find out.
Hey, speaking of food, we want to thank our sponsor, Snappy Tomato Pizza.
Yeah.
And of course, Total Comfort Heating and Air, Abundant Hope Smoothies, Win Auto. So we want to thank and Metronet Fiber. So we want to thank everybody.
Yeah. And if we'd been more organized before this, we would have called and got some pizzas delivered.
You know what? I thought about that, and then I forgot about it. And I took a nap, and then I forgot about it.
You stopped by here about 3:30. I'm like, you want to do this? And you're like, sure, let's do this. So here we are. So there you go. So the only live election night coverage on Facebook in Madison County tonight, I think.
It's true.
Some other folks might have had radio
and on
coverage,
YouTube.
I think. Yeah, YouTube. And so hey, thanks to all the
refresh the state results. 30% reporting. It looks like Daniel Cameron's pretty much running away with it at 30%. So, and then 45%. Ryan Quarles at 21%, Kelly Craft at 18%, Eric Dieters at 7%, Alec Heck at 4%, and then it goes down from there. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll and like I said, same thing here in Madison County. Daniel Cameron 37.93 over Ryan Quarles 17.92. Kelly Craft close third at 16.16, but it looks like Daniel Cameron winning Madison County and probably winning the entire state, and probably the rest of these as well. Michael Adams will probably be the nominee for secretary.
I don't think any big surprises.
The auditor, and like I said, this wasn't a really that interesting of an election, folks, to be honest with you, except for here in Madison County for the alcohol. And,
for the alcohol vote. And it was talked about in Lexington media a lot.
Yeah,
I heard it on the Cruiser show this afternoon talking about it.
Yeah. I listen to him quite frequently. He does a good job covering politics. And, he's great to listen to, and free unpaid plug here for good old Cruiser, because I mean he's been on Lexington radio for about 150 years.
Double Q.
I'm joking, but he does a good job of being very down the middle and nonpartisan, and so he does a good job covering stuff and not putting any kind of a slant on it. But you definitely you told me earlier you'd heard him on there talking about it.
About it, and he's had. I think Wes has been on his show. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but. A lot of Lexington media coverage for the Madison County wet drive.
Yeah, well, certainly appears that it's going to pass quite easily, and I think that's really about it for us, folks. Unless we can't get any results, so I think that'll be the wrap on it. But we just wanted to come on here and just give you kind of an update on where things are. And I'm not really sure how many more votes are still left to be counted, but I can't imagine that it'll be enough to overcome a 2-1 deficit on there.
Yeah, so, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so either.
Like I said, actually, now 47 of 47 precincts are in, so this should be it.
Oh, that should be it. Okay, good.
47 of 47, I do believe. Is that what that just said? Were you watching that?
I think so. That's what I saw.
Yep, 47 out of 47, so that should
47
be
out of 47.
So, yep, so all the folks out there at Boone's Tracer are watching us can raise a toast. Raise a toast. We got to go back. We can't raise a toast. We got to go back to work. So I got to go to a softball game.
I'm doing it from my home studio. You can.
Yeah. Well, you don't know what. Yeah, we don't know what you're doing there. That's for sure. You could have a bottle right off camera down there.
I'm in the palatial studios of Remote Studio C.
C? Where's A and B?
A is up in Southern Hills Plaza. So if you want to use my studio, call for rates. I might as well do some shameless plug. And then for the sports show, I'm in my dining room to do a sports show, and this is another show I do. So this is C. So I have 3 studios. It's kind of cool.
What is this? What are we here for?
Well, I mean, that could be D. That could be
I made this whole
Studio D.
with pictures and awards, and we got Ashley Judge.
I know, I like that.
Right up here.
Well, I could actually go into my other studio, which is behind this wall with the green screen, so that could be another. So we could have A, B, C, D, E, F studios.
Well, let's let this scroll through one more time and make sure. But I think I did see that was 47 of 47. But let's make sure here, and we can wrap it up here and officially say that, we got it.
I see this. These are the final results right there.
Where does it say that?
It's on screen right there. You
okay.
See it?
Yes.
Like my buddy Chris Israel has just typed it in a text document and superimposed it.
I think he was talking to us.
That's right. Excellent. Fantastic. Thanks, Chris.
Well, here is I'm going to send you. This is the final. Is
this the final
for the local option?
Okay.
Final, and this is. You'll see the numbers here are.
Send them to me, sir.
Quite overwhelming and quite significant. That over 2-1. So Madison County is wet. 47 of 47 precincts are in, and that is it, folks. So then we're gonna. I guess we can wrap it. We can go through it one more time real quick. But 47 of 47, we had 73,000 registered voters, 35,000 Republicans, 29,000 Democrats. And so voter turnout was 20.04% overall, 23.6% Republicans, 29.4% for Democrats. And then we roll through here through the
Republican almost 10,000 votes.
Yep. And one last time, we'll roll through the Republican primary results here in Madison County. Once again, just Madison County results, not statewide. But if we look through here, and of course, like we've been saying all night, here in Madison County, it was Daniel Cameron overwhelmingly being the choice of Republican primary voters. 3,793 votes. Brian Quarles was second, 1,792. Kelly Craft, 1,616. And Mike Harmon was a distant fourth. Secretary of State here in Madison County, Michael Adams, by a huge margin, almost 5,000 votes there. Actually, no, about 4,000 votes.
About 4,000.
But Michael Adams with the win there. Republican Auditor of Public Accounts, Allison Ball, by over 3,000 votes. She wins Madison County. Of course, these are just Madison County results. Mark Metcalf, the overwhelming choice for State Treasurer as well, 4,289. Easily beating out Andrew Copperrider with 1,763. And just a couple of more to get to here before we wrap this up. Commissioner of Agriculture, Jonathan Schell, 55-44 over Richard Heath in Madison County. And Democrat Governor, once again, no surprise here, by an overwhelming majority, Andy Beshear, 5,078 votes. Jeff Young, just 366 votes, and Pepe Martin, just 177 votes. Democrat Commissioner of Agriculture, one of the closer votes here in Madison County, Sierra Enlow edges out Michael Malone, 2,816 to 2,149 in Madison County. And once again, the local option got almost 10,000 votes, 9,883, no, 4,792. I don't know what that percentage is, but it's got to be up in the 60s, I would think, 60+%.
Almost 15,000 people voted just for that.
Yep. Wow. Yep, 15. Yep. So there you go. So
really cool.
That's how we stand. So
statewide, it's going to be Cameron and Beshear, and it will, like you said, Jonathan Schell, Ag Commissioner. So whoever the Democrat comes out to be for that one. So that'll be the governor's race. That's for sure.
Yep. So there you go. And if keep up with our news partner here at the Richmond Register is WKYT. So we would, if you want to keep up with the rest of the statewide races, we would suggest you turn over to WKYT. Bill Bryant and all those fine folks. We work with them on some stuff. So those are our unofficial news partner. Sure. We don't have like a technical partnership. We don't like anything like that. But we do work with them. They work with us. So we're not like that. It's just kind of an informal thing, but we're together. But we do run their weather graphic and from Chris Bailey and everything.
Yeah, so we do. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. So I'm just looking at KYT right now, 22% statewide, and Governor Beshear has 93% of the vote. That's the local option in Madison County got 67% of the vote.
67. So you're right. Yeah, 67%. Wow.
100%. KYT just had that as well. So
Pretty good.
So there you go, folks. Not a whole lot to tell you about. We're just happy to get on here and kind of tell you what's going on, and glad Wes Brown could join us. I hope you could you hear him on the speaker?
Oh yeah, I heard it. Yeah, we heard him just fine. Yeah.
Okay, good. I didn't know if you could or not. So it's because it was on my phone. I just didn't know if you could hear him. I was hoping, but
yeah, it's pretty quiet in Studio A there.
Yeah, nobody here but me. So, yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. So I appreciate him.
Tell everybody about the sports show tonight. You got some stuff coming. What are you talking about tonight?
Yeah, about 10:30 or so. We're gonna have we'll have region tennis results and 44th District softball championship game is about 30 minutes away over at Central. I'll be heading there right now. I'm gonna wrap this up and go over there, and on Twitter, Richmond R Sports will be giving you live updates. I do believe it's broadcast live by the local folks. If you want to watch it,
last I heard.
I don't know what they do, so I'm not going to promote them. I don't know what they're doing, so. But it might be streaming out there somewhere. But don't do that. Come out and watch the game. It's a lot of fun. Bundle up. This weather's good, so.
That's right. Baseball regions next week at Central. Don Richardson Field.
Well, and the championship game is tomorrow night. They moved the 44th District baseball championship.
They moved it tomorrow night. What time is that tomorrow night? 6.
That'll be 6 tomorrow, unless we have another rain.
No, I think it's out now. Chris Bailey said. I think it's going.
Chris is usually right, man. He's spot on. Man. He's always
could be. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for watching tonight. Had a bunch of folks watching tonight.
3 hours to do our sports show. We're doing the same thing here. So.
I know. I hope I don't fall asleep after this.
Well, get some coffee in you, man, or some 5-hour energy or something, or that bottle of bourbon over there, or just off screen. So there you go. So. Anybody did we give our shout out? Is anybody watching?
Yeah, let's shout out. Let's shout out to people that's watching. Chris Blade is watching. Crystal Young is watching. Amber Moore, Daniel Harlan is watching. Bella Marberly is watching. Stacy Moore, Cameron Burkhart, Stephanie Purvis is watching. Emily Lynch is watching. Kevin Jones, Reggie Camp, Sam Metcalf, Sherry Braunberger, Terry McKeon.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a bunch of people watching. Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thanks, man. Well, we'll be back in about 3 hours to talk sports now that the politics is out of the way.
Stay tuned.
Obviously, big news of the night, Madison County is wet. So 60 days or so, and you can the whole county will be wet. Alcohol sales available everywhere. And look at that
it just took since the 20s. Prohibition is over in Madison County.
There you go. So all right. Well, appreciate everybody watching, and everybody appreciate Wes phoning in and everything else. So. We'll get out of here, and I'm going to go watch a softball game and come back and tell you what happened there. So,
all right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you later tonight.
That's okay. See you guys.